What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Minute Masters here, and today I'm going to show you how to replace your steering box. So here's your power steering box, okay? And it's power because you can tell there's all the hoses that go to the power steering pump, which makes it that nice and easy turning even when you're sitting still. I was failed by PA vehicle inspection because there's too much play, apparently, in the steering wheel. So I have to replace it. So you begin by putting a pan underneath this because you're going to disconnect these lines here, and you're going to see a connection here and a connection here. So you'll disconnect those, plug the ends. Now, if you have some golf tees, you can plug them with some golf tees. I got little sticks of wood, and I'm going to put the spare set of these latex gloves I have and put it in the end. That way there's no contaminants or anything that gets inside. Once those are undone, you're going to take this plastic collar, which I've already slipped up. You're going to undo it. It's just held on by this little loop connector right here. Slip it up so it's out of your way, and you'll see that nut right there. Undo that, and that will actually allow the shaft to come off. And then from there on out, the rest of the work is down below. So I'm going to disconnect those few things and bring you back to the underside. So before we go down below, I want to bring you up here real quick and actually show you everything disconnected. So as you can see here, both my fluid lines are disconnected, and then right here where the flex coupling is, you can see it's removed. So you just pull that bolt out, and it has to come completely out. You can't leave it just half in there. And the steering column telescopes away. As you can see, I'm just pushing in on it. Which is part of a safety feature in an accident, but you just push it away and that's it. Everything's disconnected up here. So next we'll go down below. So down here, this is the underside of the steering box, and you'll see this bolt here, and then this is our Pitman arm. So you'll have to remove this bolt. Now I've sized it up already just so I can give you guys an idea. A 1 1/4 barely fits on there. And by barely fits, it's like it just needs like a shim paper thin to fit on there. So it could just be a metric socket. Otherwise, I'm actually going to try to remove it with this 1 3/8 that I have lying around, which should do the trick. Once that's off, use a Pitman puller, which is looks like this, and that goes around it, and that pulls it off. You try to take that off without one, good luck, you'll probably damage all the splines. Now, conventional directions say you should also remove the Pitman arm from this. So, like, remove the Pitman arm entirely from everything. I don't know if that's exactly necessary, so that's up to you whether or not you want to remove both ends, but really you just need to disconnect it from the steering box. At this point, I don't know how frozen up everything is to know if I'm going to want to take both off, but I can definitely tell you that's got to come off. So that's the next step. So I'll undo that one, pull it off, and move to the very last step of removing this thing. Well, guys, this is where I'm at. It's not always easy here on the Minute Masters. Here's a good example. So I've actually been working at this Pitman arm for the past hour or so, and as you can see, it's still there. I've been heating it up, cooling it down. I've been using my Seafoam Deep Creep, which according to the Farm Project channel is like the best penetrating oil. I've also used PB Blaster, and yeah, so all my tricks are not really working. Here's my Pitman puller. As you can see, the end's really divoted. And it's also bent out at the jaws. So I actually went ahead and I disconnected it from the drag link here. And I'm just going to continue on and see if I can get the damn thing off once the box is off the truck. So with that being said, the very last step is you undo these 3 bolts here, which hold the box to the side of the frame, and the box can come out. And then hopefully I can have a better shot at that Pitman arm, or looks like I'll have to get another one. You guys will find out soon enough. All right, guys, so here it is. Believe it or not, once I took those 3 bolts out, it just fell right out. So whatever you do, don't put your prize family china underneath there. So yeah, see if I can get this Pitman arm off. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start bolting up the new steering box. I can always get a Pitman arm in my spare time, and you know, also work on this later. So the new one's going to go up again. The 3 bolts are the first thing that are going to be hooked up, and then we'll hook up the 2 lines to it. So I'm going to go do that and bring you guys back. All right, so here's the new steering box bolted right up. So if you're wondering what's the best way to do this, what I did is I crawled underneath of it and I held it up with one hand, and the bolts I had pre-threaded through the frame. So it's just a matter of lining it up and just stabbing the bolts through and just hand tighten them in a bit to hold it up. And then I could bolt them on. The Haynes manual says 55 to 66 foot-pound of torque. I like to go somewhere in the middle, so I did, 58, 57. I'm not ready to figure out whether or not the bolts are going to snap on me, so I like to go in between. As far as your fuel lines, they will give you no trouble as long as you line them up perfectly. This one's pretty simple because it's rubber. This one I kind of had to bend a little bit to line it up. And so that's it there. The last thing that needs to be done is the coupler. The flex coupler has to be connected right here. So like I said, it's just, you just put it on there, put your bolt through, and you're good to go. And that's it. The top part is all finished. The only thing that needs to happen is I need to get that Pitman arm off the old steering box and put it on this one, and of course hook up the bottom part, and then we can bleed the system. So time to go get that Pitman arm and put this thing back together. Well, here we are, guys. This is Sunday, the next day, because that was the earliest I could get this brand spanking new Pitman arm right here, because yep, couldn't get the other one off. I probably heated it up maybe 5-6 times, cooled it down. I was working on it for about an hour and a half, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done with it. Called in the part. It was only 30 bucks. Pfft, easy. So here it is, bolted back on, the nut and the bolt done according to spec. You can find those in the Haynes manual. If you just want a rough ballpark, it's basically 200 foot-pounds, which is probably why the damn thing wouldn't come off before. But I put anti-seize on it beforehand because you never know. I may want to do a lift and I want to get it off. So, and then I put the drag link back on here, castle nut, and pin. So that's it for down here and for mechanical. So the only thing you have to do after that is bleed the system. Now, it's nowhere near as complicated as brakes. I find brakes to be just kind of annoying to bleed, not my personal favorite. But with power steering, pretty simple, especially with a truck like this. All you have to do is fill your reservoir, turn the truck on, crank over one way, crank over the other, and all you're doing is you're forcing air out of the different channels and replacing with fluid. And you keep doing that until all the air is out. And then as you do it, you want to check the fluid level to make sure it's at its right level. Now, to give you an idea how simple and easy and rather short this is, even the Haynes manual's description of bleeding it is rather quick. I mean, it's literally like, do you see bubbles? It probably should be bled. Fill reservoir, heat up everything until it's, operating temperature. Turn one way, turn the other till lock. Check fluid and add as necessary. Boom. Can't get any more simple than that. So I'm going to do that and we're done. And so are you guys. So anyway, guys, that's all for me. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minute Masters. Thanks for watching.